Well, it's the paper today talked about once again the congratulatory everything, but time to retool.
Yeah.
We lose a lot of people, but when you talk about Gunner and you talk about Shea Wood, you got juniors that are coming back on defense. That I think where the defense was our kind of, we really got to work on defense this year.
Right.
You know, our defense is going to be strong as all get out next year. Now we got to look at the offense because we lose an entire offensive line and a number of skill positions. So
I like looking at the defense right now, though.
Right.
Yeah. But when you do look at defense, you got the Hinsley brothers, Jared,
oh my gosh.
Jared and Aaron.
Oh yeah.
Both of them. I'm not sure that Aaron might not be a defensive end next year. Jared's a great defensive end. Then you have at linebacker, you got Mitty and Gunner Johnson. Also a guy who played a lot as a sophomore in there is the Mauser kid, Tyson Mauser. He may end up playing the will linebacker for us. Then you look in the back end back there, you got Johnny Carter, who started several games for us as a sophomore. Of course, Shea Wood, who will be probably the leader on the defense next year at the free safety spot. And then, of course, Clayton Lowe, who had a good game, had a really, really good game. Will be in the back end. We got to replace really one corner, and we've got to replace two different defensive tackles. Is what we have to replace.
Right. Clayton, interesting you bring him up. He had a sensational postseason.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you watched him make plays that he would make normally, but I mean, it was like, and I think you're right. The Todd Christian factor, the swagger factor. All those boys, instead of being reactive on a defensive play, those guys were reacting, and they were making, and that's exactly why we succeeded. Exactly why we succeeded.
Then you switch over to the offensive side of the ball, and Pate Davis is a heck of a quarterback. I mean, he can throw the football now. Nobody's as accurate. I mean, in 30 years of coaching, I've never seen anybody as accurate as Matt Bishop. Mm-hmm. I mean, that kid is accurate. He sees the field so well. Pate will be a good high school quarterback next year, and he's a good runner too. He's probably a better runner than Matt is. And then you look at the running back spot. We're probably going to take Caleb Freisinger and move him to the tailback spot full time. We've got a good incoming sophomore freshman kid, Jess Sanders, who's really a good running back also. Wide receivers, you got Willie coming by. That Willie will be the start there. We've got some really good sophomores in Taco Anderson and some of those guys.
Right.
So we're really strong everywhere except on the offensive line. And the leader right now coming back will be the sophomore, going to be a junior, Corey Steidel. Corey will be a good one of the best offensive linemen we've ever had.
Right.
And then, of course, you got Patrick Lauer, who played several games on the varsity this year. And then, of course, Casey Fowler. Mm-hmm. Casey Fowler and Corey are going to be our two bookends to start on that offense. Casey started probably 5 games for us this year. So we've got some good ones coming. We got to find 2 more positions on the offensive line, and we'll be fine.
But you guys will do it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the resiliency and amazing part about this 3-year run of state championship is that whenever there's a hiccup, man, you coaches get those players to, squelch the hiccup and win.
Well, and that's our job. And on the defensive side of the ball, Coach Wood's as good as anybody at motivating kids to play up to their potential, and in most cases, play above their potential. Play better than what their body says they're supposed to. Todd Christian's a prime example.
Exactly. Shea Wood.
I mean, Shea. I think
only 165 pounds.
He weighs 148 pounds.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, and the guy's one of the leading tacklers in the area. Honorable mention, All-State defensive back. Just high school football player.
That's exactly right.
High school football player.
As we look forward to next year, we are up for realignment. Is there any indication of where we're going to be? You hate to throw it out there, but any idea where we're going to be, what we're going to do, who we're going to be playing?
Well, I'm trying not to make the UIL mad anymore.
How about any matter?
Any matter? I tell you what, and I've always been against the central site because it takes control away from the coaches when we're trying to set up a state championship game. I love it that we're playing at Cowboy Stadium right now.
Because you drive 35 minutes and you're there.
Yeah, but Manville probably didn't like it near as much.
Oh, Manville didn't. Lamarck didn't last year. 6 hours on a bus and spend the night? No.
They would prefer for us to both have the bus and meet in Austin or meet in College Station or Waco or something like that. But it's good for us right now. And the UIL, I've got to say this about it. They did a great job hosting it. And if they can continue to do a great job like that, and if it does go to San Antonio to the Alamo Dome or go to Houston to Reliant, there's some hiccups in there that they've got to fix. Those two places don't have enough locker rooms. Mm-hmm. Cowboy Stadium's got 5 locker rooms. Reliant and Alamo Dome have 2 locker rooms each. What that would mean is you're in a state championship game at halftime, you got to move out of your locker room.
Right. So the other teams come in and loading up.
That's not what you want to be doing at halftime of a state championship game. Yeah. So it's Cowboy Stadium is the ideal place to do it right now if we're going to stay with this. And the UIL, like I said, they did a great job with it this year. It was better this year than it was last year. And I'm sure we made a lot of money off the deal. 43,000 people at our game. I'm sure a lot of those were South Lake people that came early that bought pre-sale tickets. But anybody who bought a ticket during our game, we get credit for that money, and hopefully our school district will make enough money to maybe give teachers a Christmas bonus next year.
That'd be nice. You got one and I got one. Wife-wise, teachers.
Yeah, sure do.
But on district realignment, we really don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid that. If you notice, I tried to talk around that.
You did.
Now,
I
think we'll be pretty close. February 1st, or that first Monday in February to come out. We had 1,544 kids. Finally, our enrollment grew. We stayed the same for about 6 years, but. I'm saying that we're going to be right back in the same district.
Here we are.
Timber Creek's probably going to go up. They've got 2,200 kids in high school. Saginaw's opening a new school, so that could do something to us. Got an email from a guy saying that Dr. Brydup told him in pregame that he didn't see 3A going up to 1,000, so that means that Stephenville probably is going to stay 4A.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Which, the only thing bad about that, if they were dropped to 3A, we'd agreed to play each other again in non-district. So I'm gonna have to look for another non-district game if they stay 4A.
Schedule next year. We always play 3 fun non-conference, non-district games at the beginning. Who are we playing?
Well, when you win 3 state championships, it's hard to get people to play you.
Right.
So right now we will open the season. First game last week of August. We will open the season with Highland Park.
Like in the neutral site, is that the football classic kind of deal?
It's the Tom Landry Classic. Mm-hmm. They call it neutral, but when you play Highland Park at SMU Ford Stadium, it's not really neutral. No. But it is, and we'll play there for the next 2 years. The good deal on that is the gentleman who sets all that up, Mr. Comstock, he is going to find us a school that will come to Aledo for 2 years in a row, and that will either be the second or the third game. Gotcha. We had it set up with a team out of Old Mexico, out of Monterrey, Mexico, that was coming, but they backed out on us. So we're trying to find a team either locally or from outside of the state, try to bring somebody in for 2 years in a row so that we don't lose gate revenue here at Aledo.
Right. So we got some excitement going on. We're celebrating now. We'll continue to celebrate throughout the holidays. But on this is tentative, January 19th at the Stampede Room up at the Stockyard Station, north side of Fort Worth, we're going to have our annual football banquet. But It's even more special than the last 2 is that we're celebrating our 3rd straight state championship. So it's we'll have more on the Aledo Athletic Booster website, and you also go to the school website as we get closer to the holidays. We'll know more about it. But probably that Thursday night, January 19th, up at the Stampede Room, the Stockyard Station, and tickets will be $25. Is that right?
Probably around $25 for of course the varsity athletes get to come free. UIL allows us to do that, but for everybody else it'll be about $25 a head. It depends on how much they charge us for everything.
Right.
But we've got to make sure that we can cover our expenses with it. That's all we're trying to do. But it will be neat. I mean, you look at the guys that have, it's going to be their final banquet with us, Jonathan Gray, Matt Bishop, Michael Wilson, Michael Mann, all of those guys. It's going to be, it'll be neat. Jalen Hill, Ryan Dawsey, all those guys. It'll be very special to kind of see those guys off and to let them challenge our new guys. And I'm going to try to set something up so they challenge our new guys.
Oh, that's cool.
We may do a tug-of-war or something when we.
I'm going to step back just for a second. We talk about offensively, our playmakers, defensively. Sort of the unsung heroes defensively have really been Ryan Dawsey and Patrick Smith.
Yeah.
Ryan Dawsey hurt most of last year. This year steps in, and you didn't see him much. You saw him every play. You didn't see him, picking up the fumble and running, making the tackle in the backfield. But Patrick Smith and Ryan Dossie, if you really want to talk about anchors, they sat there and did that game after game after game and were really unsung heroes.
Well, yeah, their job is to take care of A-gap and B-gap in the middle, two guys trying to get three people to block them so that our linebackers can run without having a center or a guard get up on them. And Dossie and Patrick both did a good job. They didn't make a whole lot of tackles because that's not really their job.
Right.
Their job is to keep those three interior linemen off of linebackers.
And they did it successfully. And
they did a good job. And poor old Ryan, Ryan had a really bad knee injury in the end of his sophomore season year, late April, and does not get to play his entire junior year because of that knee injury. Came back this year and just worked and worked and worked. And really, you talk about a kid that changed. There are guys that are really, really good for football that mean a lot to our team and stuff like that. Jonathan Gray, he meant a lot to football in Aledo. Ryan Dossie's one of those kids that football means a lot to him. He was a big, important part of our football team, but what he got out of football, the personality that he developed, because he was a quiet kid. He used to sit in the corner and read a book and wouldn't talk to anybody through his junior year. Would not talk. And now he's kind of a vocal type guy. He talks a lot. He's got a big smile on his face all the time. And I attribute that to the success he had in football and the camaraderie and the football guys, accepting him and him accepting the football team. Big deal for him. And then Patrick Smith, too.
Yeah.
He's always got a smile on his face. Great kid.
What a great success story on Ryan Dossie. That's what a great way to put it. Football's good great for us football-wise, but football really helped him out. And that's, like you said, you've said it since day one we started doing this. We're about building athletes.
Yep.
Number one, we're about building students.
Kids
and helping them be successful, which has no monetary value, successful as they go forward. Right. And so congratulations on that. Selfishly, 2009, my oldest was part of that first one.
Right.
And for the last 2 years, the youngest son, Madison Harbuck, been part of it. So thank you, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And once again, be looking on the Booster Club website and be looking on the school district website about our football banquet coming up on February 19th. And Coach Buchanan, get ready for next year.
Thank you.